Well, good day everyone. Welcome to Jet 2416 Reloading. Today it's not going to be too much of a video. I'm just going to show y'all some targets that I've saved from the last couple of rounds at the shooting range. One is terrible and the other one is not a lot better, but I have a third one over here that might be a little bit of a surprise and something decent. This one here is from December, just for a couple weeks before Christmas. I don't have any velocity data on these things. As you can see, I've used the Caldwell app on my phone to save all those numbers. And here recently, I dropped my phone for about the 100th time and finally finished it off. And the all the data that was saved on the phone or on the flash drive was all corrupted, and I don't have any of that stuff, so that kind of sucks. But the best I can remember, the Shooter's World Max rifle with the 120 grain ELDM, those were something along the 2600 range, from about 2520 to about 2610. Really fast, good shooting. I love Max rifle. It always does good in my gun. Bad thing is, I was having an awful day at the range. Some were pretty good, not good, but some were better than others. Having a lot of flyers and things were going on, and I didn't even realize what was happening until I got back home. That made it even worse than it already was. I was having a terrible day at the range that day for some reason. It wasn't like cool, or there was nothing wrong with the weather. The wind was pretty nice. Maybe 2 or 3 mile an hour wind, very calm for that time of the year. And the only thing I was having a problem with, my back was hurting a little bit as I sat in that hard chair for a little while, and it was very short, seemed short. I was having to reach way up and kind of pivot, get up on the edge of the seat and get up high as I could, because the shooting surface was very, pretty tall, and the chair was short, so that was giving me a hard time. I finally had to take my bipod off and use a block of wood so I could get down low enough to be able to see the target and be reasonably comfortable, and it still wasn't doing a whole lot of good. Notice I was still getting these wild flyers from bad trigger pulls. And there was another thing too. These groups are so big, and these bullets and some of this powder, I've shot combinations before and they were half the size or less. My scope was acting crazy, and I didn't realize that, like I said a while ago, until I got back home and I found out that the front mount of the scope was slightly loose. It's a cantilever mount, and it sits real far forward on my upper. The scope that I have is a I can't remember the brand name now. Anyway, it's a 4-16 with a 44 millimeter objective, and it's very heavy, so it does put some stress on the mount with the recoil. Not that there's a whole lot of recoil with 6.5 Grendel, but it's enough there that if your mount's not steady, it'll mess it up. It'll mess your shooting up. So I was having that problem. So it wasn't a real good day to show anything happen good with the ammunition. If I had the velocity numbers, that was the best thing of all, because this was some reasonably hot ammo, not dangerously hot or anything like that. It wasn't even. I think the maximum, this one right here, 31.8. I think it may have been 1 or 2 tenths beyond the book maximum, but other than that, the brass looked fine. There was no signs of pressure on any of it. It was all good to go, as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, these groups are pretty bad. This was a 120 grain ELDM, 95 grain VMAX, another 120 ELDM, and these down here on the bottom, these were from 223. Now this was not a scope issue. This was all me. This is just awful. And I haven't shot this bullet and this powder before. Powder varmint is one of those powders that I haven't been able to get a handle on. I haven't worked with it enough to really really narrow it down and find out what works best with it in a certain, bullet. So I got a lot of work to do on Power Pro varmint, and since this was the first time I ever shot the Spear 55 grain soft point varmint, I don't know what to say about this. It looks bad, but it may be more me than anything else. So that's about all I can tell you. This one here is from about January 16th. Again, we got some 120 grainers. These are PPU hollow point bow tails. Pretty nice group there. 28.5 grains, accurate 25-20, 28.8, 29.1, 29.4. These are all sub 2 minute groups at 200 yards. All of these are 200 yards. So not too terribly bad. By the eyeball, if this was 100 yards, that would be not impressive at all. But for 200 yard shooting, that's not. I don't think that's horrible. Accurate, not 24.95, the 95 VMAX. That's like almost. If you don't count that one up there, that flyer, which was my fault, totally my fault. That's a .96. That's about 1 3/4 inches. No, it's a little more than that. I didn't measure all the way to the flyer, but anyway, that with the flyer is probably about 2.5. So there we got 1.4 inch, 2.93. That one got a little wild. 2.22, 2.34. So about a minute and a little over a minute angle on these. And we got the 90 grain Nosler Armageddon. I love these little bullets. They're tack drivers. Keep in mind that's 200 yards, and we got a 1 inch group, 104, 0.96, 1.85, 1.93. The 95 VMAX. These here are some leftovers that I did not finish shooting out of another string. This is accurate 25-20, and these right here, I took a break for about an hour and a half, and when I came back and sat down with these guys right here, I could feel my trigger was hard, grindy, gritty. I think that some crap got down in there, and when I left it set, the grease and whatever that got there, it was cooling off that afternoon, and I think the light grease and that probably dirty from being shot quite a bit that day was getting gritty on the trigger. So it didn't really, I wasn't getting a good trigger pull on these, but still 1.68 inch and 2.51. That's actually a flyer over here, which is my fault, not the bullet. But even at 2.51 at 200 yards, that's 1.25 inch. That's not bad at all for. So anyway. And the warm-up thing for the day, I took out the 223 AR-15. It's like a M4 style upper, 16-inch M4 style upper, and did some shooting with the let's see, these were the 62 grain PPU full metal jacket bow tail with 26.5 grains of Power Pro varmint. That's a 10-shot group right there. This is 100 yards, so I mean that would be excellent for 200 yards with that gun, but it's 100. That's 100 yard. And these down here is with the 55 grain Spear soft point and 23 grains of H322. That's 2.85 inches. That's a 15-shot group at 100 yards. So not too bad with that 16-inch 1.9 twist upper. All these bullet hole, all these shots over here, every one of these was from a couple of people down. I guess since I had this target sitting away from the one I was shooting more at, they probably figured this was just a freebie that somebody left there. So it got shot all up by some other people. But this is my groups of the day for the for those two guys. The Spear soft point and the 23 grains of H322 was from the last 223 video. So all in all, except for December, January was not too bad. Let's see what happened. Oh yeah, this one here I wanted to talk about a little bit. This string right here. These are from the loading with no published data video. This is accurate 2495. And other than this group right here, the rest of them were pretty promising. In fact, I came home and I wanted to load up some more of these right away and test them because I didn't get all of the velocity data off of them that I wanted. For some reason, the shadow was messing up the chronograph. The shadow from the building structure we were shooting out from under. So I put the lights on top of the chronograph, and it started working better out here. But I wanted to know what all of these were. You know, I think the only one I got graph on numbers on was this one here, and I can't recall what it is off the top of my head, but it was pretty low. I think it was down around 2160 or something like that. So very, very low velocity. So I wanted to come back and I wanted to pick these numbers up just a little bit more and go back and shoot some more strings with this 2495. But there again, these are 200 yards. So I mean, these 2.34, 2.22, 2.93, 1.41, and 0.96 down here. With that one, you know, you leave that flyer out and 0.96. That was really good. So I really wanted to shoot some more of that 2495, and I have a can of it over here. But it's absolutely ruined, and I don't know why. When I've had it over there in the corner for, I don't know, a year and a half, and I haven't pulled it out very much. I keep all the rest of my powder over there, well, the ones I use the most of anyway. But I took this one out, and there was like grease, gooey stuff around the top of it. This, nasty. And I thought the first thing was to look up and see if there was something dripping from the ceiling. Well, the ceiling's dry and there's nothing over there, and so I didn't know what it was. And I opened the lid, and that really, really rusty, nasty smell come out of there. So I knew what happened. The powder went bad on me. The seal on the inside was eat up. I don't know. It got contaminated somehow, and I think the nitro is evaporating and steaming out from under the lid and dripping on the side of the can. I think that's what that is. It's real strange. I've never had a sealed can do that before. But anyway, this is for the flower bed now. That's a bummer, but I'm seeing that quite a bit more often now. $24.95 used to not be that available. Now you can get it pretty much anywhere. But I am going to go back and redo these. And if I'm not mistaken, I saw that Accurate or Western Powders has some more data out for like 6mm arc, and I believe they had some for 6.5 Grendel as well, if I recall correctly. But anyway, that was pretty impressive. I thought it was. So I really want to get some more 2495 and play with that some more with that 95 VMAX. Maybe even do some with the 120 ELD. So that's about all I got to say in that regard for those things. I got some more of these Midway seconds. They're 77 grain hollow point boat tails that look a whole lot like Sierra. Anyway, if you kind of hand pick through them, you can usually pick out, enough of them that are equal in size and, length that you can get some good shooters out of them. They're the last several batches that I bought. I've been able to, out of 100 or 200 round box, I usually get 75 to 80 out of 100 that are just fine. And the rest of them are totally shootable. They're just, you know, not really great for doing groups if that's what you're up to. But anyway, I got some more of those. I was thinking about doing another Mark 262 clone video. See how that turns out. I didn't get around to showing any of the range data from the first round, so I'll have to make sure that I do that in this next one. So anyway, that's about all I got to talk about today. We got some new subscribers in the interim between videos. I know it's been a long time between, so try to make that better this spring. Get a few more things to talk about and some more range footage or something. Need to find a range where it's not so hard to video, too many people around and things like that. I really don't want to put on a video with a bunch of people in the background, because when you post it and somebody sees their face and they didn't tell you it was all right, or you don't go around and ask everybody and say, hey, is it all right if your face hit the video? You either got to edit that out, or don't post it at all. And so it's kind of a pain in the rear. It's not always wherever you go that the ranges like you to video anyway, so that's kind of a deal. What else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I was talking about more subscribers. Thank you very much for that. I do appreciate it very much. A lot more views in the last few months than we've had before in the previous months, so that's great. Appreciate that too. So if you're watching this video, if you would like and subscribe, I'd appreciate that very, very much. It's been helping the channel get a lot more views. It's been circulating a little bit more, so that's most appreciated from all of you who have been watching and keeping up with us. So I'm gonna go for now. We'll see you around on the next one in a week or two, maybe. If everything goes right, that should be about the way it goes. So everybody, have a great day. See you on the next one.